to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 82, Nonlinear Career Paths. So before we get started, my usual call to action, if you would give this show a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe, it would greatly help me. I would appreciate it, and it's a great way to pay it forward and help this show grow as I give it to you freely 2-3 times a month. I'm pretty regular about it, and the show is definitely getting some attention, which is fantastic. I know last year I was named on Mac's list of one of the top career podcasts for 2019. And then another website just recently called FeedSpot named me as one of their top 15 career podcasts to listen to. And I really appreciate that. You can learn more about them at blog.feedspot.com. So the word is getting out there and things are growing and blooming in terms of the show and just springtime, right? And warm weather. So when this show airs, it'll be kicking off June. I love June. It's warm, it's renewal, it's the beginning of summer. And slowly but surely, I know that some businesses are starting to reopen and we're all kind of coming out of a comatose here a little bit and hopefully coming out renewed and optimistic. I know I am, and I'm eager to get out there and hopefully start traveling again very soon and just enjoying life. So I will tell you one thing that is going on right now, even amidst the pandemic, that I think is really cool, is that I have a lot of people, more than ever, on my signature program, Career Transformation, right now, more people at once than I've ever had. And I think that is so beautiful because there really are people out there taking this opportunity now during the pandemic to still advance their careers and still make the best use of this time. And they are realizing what an opportunity we have right now to take this time to reevaluate, work on the resume, set goals, research new career paths. There are so many things that can be done during this time to still advance your career. It's not a time to completely just bring everything to a halt. It doesn't have to be. So I think that is really cool. So kudos to all of my current clients right now who are putting in the work, still advancing, still making that investment and putting in that time for what they know that they need. I think that's fantastic. So if that speaks to you, I'd love to work with you on either of my programs. It doesn't have to be Career Transformation. That's really for people who are going through a career change or exploring new career paths. That's what it's designed for. But I have Career Jumpstart too, which is a little bit more of a starter program, great for anyone who is just wanting help with the job search process, interview skills, that type of thing. So there's definitely options out there for you. But speaking of career changes, so today's topic, nonlinear career paths. I want to talk to you today about a problem, or maybe a perceived problem, that a lot of clients come to me to help them solve. And I don't know about you, but a lot of clients out there feel like they're kind of a jack of all trades, right? And so they've done a lot of different things in their career, and these things don't all line up sometimes, right? So that's a nonlinear career path. And so a linear one is it, you know those, right? You know those resumes that kind of just look really good on paper. You know, that person who's been in one field their entire career and everything is logical and they've just moved up and stayed in that one field or maybe with that one company and it just all makes sense, right? We don't like those people. No, I'm just kidding. But it is convenient to have that, right? If you can, but it's not realistic for everybody. And I think it makes sense that a lot of people reach out to me who don't have those careers, because those are the ones where it's a little bit harder sometimes to brand yourself and sell yourself to employers when you've maybe done a handful of different things and kind of bounced around a little bit. And I can certainly relate to that. Nothing about my career path really has been a nice, neat, straight line. But if it has, awesome. And it's probably going to make it easier for you in your job search. But what I want to tell you today is that it's totally okay if that's not you, and you are not alone at all. Changing careers and changing jobs more frequently too is just becoming more common. It's becoming a reality. So what I want to tell you today is I'm going to share with you as your lesson some practical strategies around how to showcase a non-linear career history on a resume and a little bit about how to talk about it in an interview. Okay? So I think the first thing that we need to get out of the way always is mindset, because that's a big part of the barrier for a lot of people. You need to be okay with your experience and own it if you ever expect the employer to. I want you to go into every interview with a lot of confidence and really owning your story no matter what it is, because you can't change it, right? You can repackage it and spin it a little bit, but you can't change it and you don't need to. But how you feel about your career and your choices and your work history and how you present it is exactly how they are going to receive it. You have a lot of control here. I really can't stress how important this is. Now, you may need to explain your career history a little bit, but that's not the same thing as defending it. I don't want you to feel like you need to defend any of your choices. You might have to explain them a little bit, but those are two different things. And it's so important to be authentic and confident in interviews, and you can, because confidence is a choice. It has nothing to do with the outside circumstances or with your work history. It has nothing to do with that. Confidence is a choice. You can go into any interview right now and own your story and be confident. That is available to you, to everyone. So if you're one of those folks who has a non-linear career path, I am right there with you. I am in that boat, okay? I guess I could easily say that I have kind of an eclectic work history. There's definitely themes and transferable skills and that kind of thing. There usually always is, right? But I've done everything from sales to customer service to management, recruiting, business ownership. I've done a lot of different things, a lot of similarities, but yet different paths in and of their own right. And I've been a business owner. I've been a contractor. I've been a W-2 employee. I've done gig economy and all that, startups, big conglomerates. I've literally worked in like every capacity for almost every type of company, or at least every size. So I've had a lot of experiences in a short period of time. And I embrace it. I choose to not to see that as a barrier, but I choose to leverage it, right? And I would encourage you to do the same thing. And that's a mindset, 100%. So we got to get that out of the way first. I want to impress upon you that also that having a work history like that is so much more common than you think. Like I said, changing jobs is becoming more common. Even having gaps sometimes, or, taking a sabbatical for whatever reason. Stuff happens, right? We're human. It's okay. And the person interviewing you is also human. And if you can just go in there and be honest and authentic and own your choices, I think they're going to see that. Definitely. I mean, for example, I started out with one degree in college, nutrition, and then went in a completely different direction. And I never actually held a job as a nutritionist, right? So I want to introduce you to the concept of bridge jobs. I think bridge jobs are great. So I got my degree in nutrition. And while I never became a nutritionist, the very next job I got was working at Jenny Craig, which was very health, wellness, nutrition focused, right? So in a way, it kind of was a bridge job. It made sense at the time, given what I had studied in school, but it actually ended up being the springboard that got me into loving business and coaching and training and hiring. It really was, in hindsight, the perfect bridge job. One part of me could look back at that and go, well, why did I major in nutrition? Boy, that was a waste of time and money, right? I didn't do anything with that. And I could regret that and try and take it off my resume and cover it up. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as that was the best choice I could have made at the time. It seemed right. And it ended up getting me a job that, while I didn't stay in it, launched me into what I was going to be doing. That is a total success. Absolutely. So I want you to apply that same forgiveness to yourself and your career choices. Okay. So I just went off on a little tangent there. But I think that right now, especially with this pandemic, a lot of people are really reevaluating things, and that's okay. I think that's kind of what this is all for, right? It's a chance to pause and reevaluate things a little bit. And I think that only more so now, post-pandemic, nonlinear career paths might become even more normal and more acceptable than they ever were. Some people are going to be forced to be changing careers. It is what it is. So I know there's one quote I remember, I think it was Sheryl Sandberg, that said this. She said, "Careers are not a straight line. They're a jungle gym." And I love that. I think that perfectly sums up what I'm trying to tell you here. So one little bit of practical advice. I will tell you that one thing to stress in interviews when you are explaining your work history and trying to kind of bridge the gap a little bit and make the connection between your skills and the job. I think one benefit of kind of having a wide variety of experiences is that you do get a broader perspective and you become quite adaptable to change and forced to take on new skills. So those are things that I definitely think that you should emphasize in your networking conversations and in resumes, is that, yes, I may have, not stuck with one career path. I've done a number of different jobs, but I really see that as a benefit because I have a broader perspective. I'm very adaptable to change. I've taken on multiple skills and I can wear more than one hat. That can be seen as a strength if you showcase it that way. Okay. So focus on your transferable or relevant skills. I might use the term relevant instead of transferable. It's a slight change, but transferable kind of, I don't know. I feel like it gives the connotation that like it's different. It emphasizes that it's different. But relevant, it says the same thing, but it just kind of draws the connection a little bit closer. I like to say these are my relevant skills. But also, if you have a job on your resume that you feel doesn't really fit in with the others, this is what you want to focus on, is the relevant skills. Ask yourself, what skills did you use that could be then used at those other jobs? And make that the focus of your resume. Write your bullet points around those things, and you can honestly strip away everything else. It's up to you what you write on your resume in those bullet points. As long as it's accurate and something that you did, there's nothing wrong with stripping away things that you did that are not relevant and just zeroing in on what you did do that is relevant to that next role. That's the best way to do it. And there's nothing inauthentic about that. The resume is not supposed to be a list of everything you've ever done. It's a strategic marketing document if you're using it properly. So be strategic about what you write under each job. Okay? So that was a lot to sink into. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we get back, I have some more ideas and a little client story to share with you around this concept of nonlinear career paths and owning your skills. I'm going to give an example of what it looks like. Okay, stay tuned and we will be right back. Hey everyone, while the show takes a quick break, I want to tell you about 2 ways that you can get help in your career for free. First, you can sign up for my mailing list and be a part of my community. I offer all kinds of advice and solutions for your career problems. I also have a free guide that I created just for you called Strategies for Interview Success, and you'll get it instantly in your inbox as soon as you sign up. So head on over to careeruprising.com/signup and get on the list today. Then, when you're done with that, you can join my amazing Facebook group. It's also called Career Uprising, and it's growing every day. You can interact with me and ask questions about your own situation. So go on over to Facebook groups and search for Career Uprising, and I can't wait to connect with you. All right, let's get back to the show. Hey, everybody. So, I was just thinking about one other thing on this topic. So I just did a show, I think it was the one last week, Are You a Generalist or a Specialist? And I didn't do it on purpose, but that's really a lot of the same conversation. So if you haven't heard that, that's episode 81 right before this. Go and listen to that show because I think it's a great supplement to this, and it's kind of continuing on the same conversation of, which is more effective or more desirable, I guess, right? To have broader skills, different work experiences, and be more of a generalist, or be a specialist and have that nice linear career path, right? And I think it's interesting that the research actually shows that being a generalist actually has a lot of benefits and actually can increase your skill and give you more opportunities in a way. Not that anyone has to be one or the other. It is what it is in our careers, right? If we can be that specialist and have that linear career path, do it. It has advantages. But it's okay if you don't, and it's becoming more normal if you don't. I think that's my bottom line message there. But for everybody, no matter what your career path, focus on the problems that you solve. I think at the end of the day, if you make that the focus, it's not going to be about your work history or your career trajectory so much. Employers want to hire people who can solve their problems and can demonstrate that they have the ability to do that, to solve problems that employer has. Needing to make more money, needing to get more clients, compliance, safety, insecurity with data, whatever it is, quality control. There's so many problems that employers have, and that's why they're opening that job, right? They wouldn't open that job requisition if they didn't need somebody to solve a problem. You need to know that and capitalize on that, okay? So even if the jobs you held don't seem relevant to each other, chances are you used similar skills and solved similar problems. So I want you to look for themes and patterns and focus your resume and focus your interview talking points on those themes. Focus on the problems that the employer has and show specific examples of how you have solved those problems. How have you made the company money or opened new accounts? Give examples. How have you improved the company's processes? Did you implement new policies, new procedures that improved things? Be specific. This is what they're looking for no matter what your career history looks like and no matter what your age is. You can extrapolate this out to the age factor as well. At the end of the day, if you can solve their problems, they're going to hire you, no matter what your age is or what your career path was. So let me give you a little example too. There's a number of clients I'm working with right now actually who are changing careers. This is so relevant. But there's one in particular too on my career transformation program who had a steady career path, 20 plus years, got up to the C-suite level, really great success, great career path, but she really felt compelled to leave that and own a business. So she went in a totally different direction, purchased some businesses in a totally different field, but now she wants to change again after a couple of years. She wants to sell that business and do something different. And what I'm working with her on is first, acceptance of her career choices. Number one, owning it and feeling comfortable with it and not having to apologize for any choices, because there was a little bit of regret in there. So that was number one. Next, we identified kind of the top 3 overarching skills that she would need in order to be successful in the career path that she wanted now. and then focus the resume on those to showcase how she had still been using them all along, even when she digressed into business ownership. And we listed those skills out right at the top of the resume, kind of in the heading, and then wrote bullet points also about them and weaved those common 3 skills. Whoops, I hit my microphone. I don't know if you guys heard that. I just almost knocked it over. But anyway, so we listed those skills at the top of the resume and made that the focus. So we're focusing on her relevant skills. Okay. So when I write resumes for a career changer, I do typically write a little short intro paragraph at the top. And I mean 4 or 5 sentences tops. And it's kind of a summary of their qualifications. And oftentimes I will call out the career change specifically. Don't let them guess. I will say, that they are currently transitioning to a position as a blank, 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 whatever, right? Or X number of years of experience in this and an ideal fit for whatever kind of role. I'll kind of call out what kind of role they're targeting because it may not be obvious because their work history is different than that role. So sometimes you have to kind of spell it out a little bit. And it's not necessarily an objective statement the way that you might be thinking. Those don't really add a whole lot of value. But a qualifications summary with your relevant skills described. And then in some cases, I do say what position they are targeting. So I think you need to be intentional about that sometimes. But I hope that helps a little bit. I hope that you will take this to heart and feel good about the choices that you've made in your career. I mean, you might as well, right? Because you can't change them, right? So what good does it do to look back on them with regret? It is completely unproductive for you to have regrets. Regrets do nothing. They serve you in no way. And they actually make you more powerless and demotivated to take action, right? So I want you to really, really own your work history and feel good about it. You might as well, because you can't change it. Might as well move forward. So I want to tell you guys too, before I wrap up, one new thing that I have started that I hope that you will join me with is I've recently shut down my Facebook group and I've transferred everything over to LinkedIn. So I've started a new online community, a new LinkedIn group, because that's where I am most of the time. And I want you to join. It's called Career Uprising Premium Online Community. I'm sure if you just go to my profile, you can find it, or you can search for it, or email me, whatever you need, but it's on there. Career Uprising Premium Online Community. And it's free and open to the public, and I'm in it every single day. I post tips, I post articles, I answer questions. You can get essentially free coaching from me in the group. It's a no-brainer, you guys. So join me in my new LinkedIn group. I'm growing it from the ground up. Okay. So if you too need help with your career path, you are not alone. And having one of those nonlinear career paths myself, I think I would be well positioned to help you. So if it speaks to you to get help, consider my career transformation program, or I can customize something for you, but just reach out. It is an investment. I'll be honest. It's the biggest program that I have because it has the deepest level of transformation and the most one-on-one time with me, but it's worthwhile. We will be working together in depth for 3 months to achieve your goals. Imagine what that would do. What could you achieve if you worked one-on-one with a dedicated career coach just for you for 3 months? I bet you've never done that. What would that achieve and what would be different for you? Beautiful. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. You know where to reach me, careeruprising.com. I hope you also join my email list and my LinkedIn group so you can stay in touch with me, and have a beautiful day. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show was brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.